The Subaru WRX is back, and not everybody is as excited about it as they once were. We're going to take it to the track and find out why. We sampled the latest version, a 2023 model, took it to the Florida International Rally and Motorsports Park, which is the official test track of Grassroots Motorsports, for a few laps. Before we got there, though, we actually had the chance to sample it on the autocross course and on the road as well. Now, as a road car, we had mixed feelings. Some of us found it a little bit boring, a little bit numb. Some of us praised the fact that a variety of sizes and heights of drivers could fit inside. Overall, the materials, the quality on the inside are fairly average for the class, not outstanding, but also not embarrassing. Everything functions as you would expect it to. It's nice, it's just not special the way it once was, especially for a car nearing $38,000 in its most highly loaded trim levels. Once we got to the track though, I actually found the car to be a nicer driving experience on track than I was expecting. It's very responsive. It does what the driver is telling it within its capabilities. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. And it's very predictable, although it is very, very hard on front tires, as you would expect a front-engined all-wheel drive car to be. It's doing a lot of work with those front tires. So if you're going to take it to a track day, keep an eye on that front rubber, and if you can do anything to get a little bit of negative camber in those front tires, it's going to help the longevity of those tires greatly. So let's take a look at some of the data we actually got from our testing at the firm. So we have two data traces up here. The blue one that you see is from the Subaru WRX. The red one is from a Honda Civic Si, the 11th generation Si that we tested recently there as well, which both ran within about a second of each other. And actually, now that I'm looking at the data, I see that they did it in many cases more similarly than I thought they did after driving it. On track, the WRX, like I said, it feels better than it does on the street. The car does not feel particularly responsive on the street. It's not what I would call responsive on track, but it does communicate very well with the driver. You have a very good sense for how much grip each of the four wheels has at any given point during cornering. So let's look at some particular spots on the data here and see if we can see anything interesting. I see a bit of a difference here where you can absolutely see, as we're running down this long straightaway coming out of the firm's turn 8, we can see where the additional horsepower of the Subaru WRX just runs away from that Honda Civic Si, especially as the cars get up into fourth gear. Both of them got a fairly equal exit off of that corner and accelerated out of that corner pretty close to each other. You can see the additional horsepower of the Subaru pulling it ahead right away. As soon as they make that 3-4 shift though, you can definitely see the additional power of the Subaru pulling it a lot harder down that straightaway than the Honda. We can see a lot of evidence for that in this straightaway as well. This is, we can see a shift from second gear into third gear and finally a short run into fourth gear. And as soon as that Subaru makes that 2-3 shift, it's already running away from the Honda a little bit and just continues to do so as the speeds increase. Through the corners though, the cars are surprisingly even though they didn't really feel very similar in the corners. The Honda, being a lighter, only front-wheel drive car, felt a little more nimble, a little more responsive in the corner. The Subaru, again, even though it communicated very, very well, felt a bit more sluggish. But you can see the speed through the corner here, especially this very long turn 8, being extremely similar, so showing some good objective performance from the Subaru. Subaru is also showing some pretty good braking performance. We can see it here braking into the firm's turn 5. We had a little bit faster run down the straightaway in the Subaru owing to its its additional horsepower, and braked at a little bit higher speed going into turn 5. The brake curves look very similar on the Honda and on the Subaru, showing both cars have excellent brakes. Overall, I would say the WRX on track is a good car. Probably not a great car though. It feels like what it is. It feels like a high-performance sedan that is more attuned to highway cruising than it is to track use. It doesn't really have the nimble, edgy, alive feeling of a smaller front-wheel drive car or a lighter front-wheel drive car, but it does have fairly good traction, and like I said, the feedback coming to the driver is extremely good, and that torquey 270 plus horsepower boxer engine is getting it down the straightaways in good order. So who does this WRX appeal to? Well, I think it's absolutely going to appeal to the Subaru faithful who have to have the latest and greatest WRX. Is it the greatest, mid-size compact performance sedan out there right now? No, other cars have definitely surpassed it. There's other stuff out there for the money that's more exciting. Still very competent, still very drivable. The rest of the market may have passed it by though. But we can have hope for an STI version of this generation, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that that ups the ante even more. Hey, you want to see more track tests of great high-performance vehicles? Here is a playlist of all of our testing that we do at the official test track of Grassroots Motorsports, the Florida International Rally and Motorsports Park in Keystone Heights, Florida. If you're enjoying the content that we are producing, you can subscribe to this channel. Please go down and throw a like on this video, and you can check us out on the web anytime at grassrootsmotorsports.com. We will see you next time at the track.
Support brands that support Grassroots Motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. Visit crcindustries.com to learn more.